Hello and welcome, Homeschool Mom Baddies. It's Tia here again, and we are going to talk all about finding your homeschooling method. One of the biggest challenges families face is trying to figure out the rhythm and flow for their family, especially when it comes to finding the right homeschool method. So, in this video, we're going to talk all about homeschooling methods and try to help you find the right one for you and for your family. All right, so let's get started. You know that embarking on a homeschooling journey can be exciting, but selecting the perfect method can be overwhelming. This presentation will help you navigate the various options and confidently choose an approach that aligns with your family's unique needs and goals. Okay, so first things first, understanding your family's needs. One of the most important components we have to look at is our children's learning style. Identify if your child is a visual, auditory, or hands on learner to guide your choice. Also, let's talk about your teaching style. Consider whether you prefer structure, flexibility, or a mix of both. Understanding your family values and goals. Determine what you want your children to gain from homeschooling, such as academic rigor, creativity, life skills. It's totally up to you. And also decide on how you want your schedule to look, a daily schedule, and most importantly, a budget. You want to evaluate the time and financial resources you can dedicate to homeschooling. Now, the first method we're going to talk about is traditional homeschool method. That is how you simulate public school at home. It's designed for conventional school environments. It's really for families who want that structure, that rigorous start time, end time, and it works for some families and for some children. But some of the challenges is that it may feel rigid, overwhelming for some children, especially those who prefer a more flexible learning environment. It might require adjustments to suit individual learning paces. The next method we are going to talk about is the Charlotte Mason method. One of the most popular ones simply because it's literature focused. A lot of families like the literature piece about the Charlotte Mason method. It emphasizes high quality literature, living books to engage children in learning, and also nature studies. A lot of families love to do nature studies because it incorporates regular walks and observations to foster connection with the natural world. Also, a component of the Charlotte Mason method is narration. Children are encouraged to retell what they've learned, promoting comprehension and retention. It's best for families valuing a holistic and gentle approach to education. Challenges include the need for preparation and a strong commitment to reading. Now we have another one called the Montessori homeschool method. This is child led learning. It encourages independence and hands on learning with activities chosen by the child. It also requires a prepared environment, which requires specific materials and a carefully arranged learning space to facilitate exploration. This is good for multiple age learning with families who have children of different age groups, promoting peer learning and mentorship. It's best for young children and families who want to foster independence. Some of the challenges include the need for specific materials and creating a prepared environment. Now we have what's called the unschooling method. This is child direct learning. This is the one that I familiarize myself with as a family. It's based on the children's interests and real world experiences, allowing natural curiosity to guide education. It has a very flexible approach, no set curriculum or schedule, adapting to the child's pace and interests as they evolve. It also has real world integration. It emphasizes learning through daily life experiences, projects, and community involvement. It's best for families who prefer flexibility and non traditional education. Some challenges may include lack of structure, which can feel uncertain for some parents and children. Now we have eclectic homeschooling method. This is probably one of the most popular ones as well because it combines different methods. It has a mixture of elements from various homeschooling approaches to create more of a customized plan. It adapts to the needs, flexibility to change strategies based on each child's learning style and family circumstances, and it balances approaches. It incorporates structure and flexibility to meet academic goals while nurturing individual interests. Best for families who want the best of all worlds. Challenges include the need for careful planning to ensure balance and progression across subjects. So if I had to describe my homeschooling style, it definitely will be an unschooling eclectic family. We homeschool year round. Not many people do that, but we find the flexibility in doing it year round as a great means to meet our goals for our family as well. But again, as we continue through this presentation, start thinking about what you want your homeschool life to look like. Are you more eclectic? Are you more traditional? Are you Charlotte Mason? Are you Montessori? So start thinking about those things so that way you can really come up with a homeschooling plan. The next one we're going to talk about is the classical education method. I wish I could talk. My tongue is tied today. Excuse me, I had to drink some water. So, classical education method, I will be very honest. I started this method when I started homeschooling years ago. My children were super young. I liked it because I was approached by a mom that was in this program called Classical Education. And it was a Christian based program where children met for co op once or twice a month, I believe it was, and they will do activities and learn these amazing stories from the Bible and different activities. But then I learned for myself very quickly, it just wasn't what we were looking for. It was a little bit too rigid for us. And that's when I discovered the unschooling and the eclectic style of schooling, because that's kind of more in line with who we were. But it's definitely a great alternative to education if that's something you're interested in. The co-op is a big thing. It's about building community. And again, a great resource. It just wasn't fitting our homeschooling style. There's what's called the rhetoric stage. That's for high school. It's persuasive expression of ideas. They have a logic stage, which is middle school analytical thinking and argumentation. And then the grammar stage. When I started, my children were in the grammar stage. So it was foundational knowledge and memorization. As a mom, I didn't think memorization was a great way to introduce concepts to my children. I really wanted them to incorporate and be able to have more application more than memorization. And that's why classical education didn't work for our family. But I know so many friends and family members who do it and they love it. So it's just to each its own. The classical education method focuses on critical thinking, logic, and the trivium. It's best for families seeking academic rigor and depth. Challenges include its time-sensitive nature and potential overwhelm for beginners. And I definitely was overwhelmed. I didn't know my own homeschooling style till I tried so many different options and I found what worked for our family, and it's eclectic unschoolers, and we school year round. It just fits our style. So really start thinking about how you want your life to look in terms of when you start to homeschool. All right, here are the steps in choosing the right method. The first thing I would recommend is that you want to assess your priorities. Determine what's important for your child's education. Then you want to experiment. Homeschooling is all about flexibility and experimentation. You want to try different approaches for a few weeks to see what feels natural. You can always mix and match, combine methods to create a custom plan that fits your family, and also seek feedback. Ask your children what they enjoy and adjust accordingly. When my children were very young, we would always do different types. Like one week we're doing nothing but projects. The next week we're doing nature walks. The third week we're doing book work. The next week we're just kind of doing videos and movies and stuff. So I'm always asking them what they like the most. And one of the things that I've learned is that each of my children are unique and they learn differently. Some of my children like to do the book work. Some of my children like to do audio. Most of my children like to do kinesthetic. They want to be moving and doing stuff. So it really just depends on how your children learn. And that's one of the most important focus you should have right now as you start to think about how you want your homeschooling journey to look. Start thinking about how you want to incorporate different lifestyle elements about your family that's unique. For me, I have 6 children. My youngest is 2. So I have to really adjust and pivot my homeschooling style each day to make sure I'm accommodating nap time for my little one and playtime for the other one. So really making sure that everything kind of flows. And again, even the best laid out plans fall apart. So you just want to make sure you're incorporating aspects that keep you focused on what you want for your family. Now, here are some tips for homeschooling success. Number 1, stay flexible. Be open to changing methods as your family needs evolve over time. Do not compare. There's nothing worse than a buzz killer and motivation depleter than comparing yourself to someone else's homeschooling journey. Everyone's journey is different, and you want to find the one that works for you. Focus on what works for your family, not on what others are doing. Use free resources. I cannot tell you how important it is to know that homeschooling can be done for free or nearly free. You can spend very little amount of money on homeschooling. You just have to be creative. Part of being flexible and creative in homeschooling is also understanding that you can utilize the free resources, such as the library. Oh my gosh, one of the best resources for homeschooling for sure. Not only about the books, of course, they have different programs, they have different activities that you can get involved in, and 9 times out of 10, they're free. And it's a great resource to have for your children, and it's a great way to get out of the house. It's always a field trip for us, the library. So definitely tap into free resources. Also, online tools and community groups to enrich learning and to save money. There's so many communities online that you can be a part of. If you want more information about one in particular, feel free to reach out to me as well. You also want to build a support network. Join local homeschool groups or online communities for advice and encouragement. Homeschooling can be isolating, especially if you're not reaching out and seeking the support of building your own tribe and finding your community. So if you need help on locating a community, let me know and I can get you connected. Now, you also want to evaluate your homeschooling journey, and you can do that by various things, such as regular check ins, schedule monthly family meetings to discuss what's working and what isn't, track progress, keep a journal or portfolio of your child's work to monitor growth over time. Seek external feedback. Consider standardized tests or evaluations to gauge academic progress, and you can adjust as needed. For me, I like to test my children once a year, and that's just for my state requirements, but it's not how I gauge my children. I know my children learn differently, and they're at different stages in their lives, rather. So the testing just gives me an overview of what to focus on in the upcoming year. It's not so much to gauge whether or not they're smart. We all know our children are smart. So standardized testing, I don't really utilize in terms of a measure of my child's intelligence. It's just an area of focus. All right, now we're talking about overcoming common homeschool challenges. Number one is time management. Create a flexible schedule that balances structured learning with free time explanation and exploration. What I mean by that is really create something that's flexible. Create a schedule that leaves enough room for challenges to come up and you can kind of pivot back and continue on. You want to make sure you're focusing on your time management, but also look at your family dynamics. You shouldn't, if your children don't like to wake up till 10 o'clock, why are you trying to have classes at 8 a.m.? Really think about your family lifestyle and dynamics so you can start planning out how you want it to look and also think about your schedule as well. Socialization. Join homeschool co-ops. If you're not a co-op person, you can definitely find communities online, and they're going to have a bunch of resources I can give you. Just feel free to reach out to me and let me know which ones you're looking for. Sports teams or community classes to provide social interactions. There are some community courses you can get involved in at your local parks and rec. You can check your local county to see if they have any activities as well. I know that the YMCA in my community had like a homeschool gym, which was a great way to get out and meet other children and meet other parents and just connect in the homeschooling community. It was just a day where homeschool students can take advantage of the YMCA for the day and just play games as if they were in a traditional school setting, but they're meeting with other children that are homeschooled. And it was a great way to get out, get moving, and to do things. It was a great way to meet other people as well. So let me know if you want more information about those programs. Also, burnout. Take regular breaks. Practice self-care and don't be afraid to adjust your approach when needed. One of the beautiful things about homeschooling is that it's flexible. You can switch it how you want, make it work for you and for your family. If something today isn't working, try something different tomorrow. You don't have to stick with something just because you bought it. That's another thing we talk about. We always want to buy these resources and we're like, oh, we paid for it, let's just use it. But if it's not working, it's not working, right? All right. Subject expertise. Utilize online resources, tutors, or community experts for subjects you're less confident teaching. That's where co-ops come in. There's so many co-ops that I've been a part of where parents got together and teach different courses. So that way it takes some of the weight off of the other parents if you're not so good. If you're not good in math, you could probably find a tutor or you could find an online program to supplement that subject if you don't feel comfortable in teaching that. And also, my favorite, integrating technology into homeschooling. There is such freedom in incorporating technology into your homeschooling journey. I cannot even begin to express how important it is, from online courses, educational apps, and virtual field trips. So important. So if you're looking for opportunities to incorporate technology into your homeschooling journey, feel free to reach out to me and kind of walk you through some of the programs that I use personally and certain platforms such as like Khan Academy. That's a great online course resource that you can use for sure. And it's free. So definitely look into that. They do have some educational apps as well, such as Starfall, which is a great one. I mean, it is free, but you do have a paid version. I think it's like $40 for the year, which is very nominal, and my children love it. So if you want more information, let me know. I'll be more than happy to get you connected. Now, you also want to create a supportive homeschooling environment. You want to have a dedicated learning space. It could be the couch, it could be a dinner table, it could be a room. When my children were super young, we had a classroom. And that's when I started to realize that learning takes place outside the classroom. So now we do more of a world homeschooling view as we school year round. So if you're one of those that need a dedicated space, great, go for it. But it doesn't have to be anything crazy or ornate. It could be something simple as sitting on a couch with your laptop, or sitting on a couch with or at the dinner table with mom and dad going over lessons. It's really up to you. You could do outdoor learning, incorporate outdoor spaces for nature studies, physical activities, and a change of scenery. Now, embracing your unique homeschool journey. Remember, the best homeschool method is the one that fits your family, unique rhythm, and goals. Stay flexible, trust your instincts, and don't be afraid to adapt as you go. Your homeschool journey is a personal adventure that will evolve with your family's needs and experiences. By understanding your family's needs, exploring various methods, and staying open to change, you can create a homeschooling experience that's both effective and enjoyable for everyone involved. So, to recap, figure out your homeschool method by determining what you want for your family. Look at your family's dynamics. Look at your learning style, your children's learning style, your teaching style. Look at your finances, your time management. Look at all of that while deciding on how you want to approach homeschooling. And if you have any questions along the way, feel free to reach out to me. My email address is homeschoolmombatty@gmail.com. You can continue following me on social media, and you can subscribe down at the bottom so you can get alerts when new videos are dropped. I drop videos weekly, so feel free to stay tuned. In the meantime, be kind to yourself, love yourself, and remember, Mom, you got this. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.